What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Big Bear Bricks, and today we've got some exciting castle news. Some new factions have dropped, and this is freaking exciting. Okay, so we've got two new factions that have showed up in the minifigure vending machine. Here's a picture of the set, and we've got our Griffin Knights and our Kraken Knights available. I think the set's really cool as far as like the set itself. I would love to have this as a display piece in my office, and the minifigs that come in it are all really cool. At least the majority of them are. So space fans, you get a little bit of some love here, getting the gold space classic space minifigure and the teal space minifigure. We Castle fans are also getting some love. We got the new Griffin Knights and the new Kraken Knights. And so let's break down these two factions here, these two new factions. We've got the Griffin Knight. He looks pretty sweet. I love the design. I am a little bit disappointed that he doesn't have a sigil on the front of his armor here, like most of the factions we get. But at the same time, I think this would be a really good minifigure for custom making armies, especially if you're into custom creating armies and you don't want to use the Griffin itself as a sigil. So his shield's pretty cool. I love that they're reusing the Hylian shield mold for these new factions, for him and the new Snake Knights that are coming in the new 3-in-1 castle. So great reuse of that part, and a good update from the normal shield that we get. Not that I do love the normal shield too, so I hope they still work that in with some of these factions. And I know the Horse Knights are using the old shield design there, or shape. But love the color scheme for the Griffin Knights with the maroon. Fun fact, the Griffin is my favorite mythological creature, so I'm personally really excited about these guys. So I could see them being in headcanon lore somewhat related to the Red Falcons, which would also help tie them into being allies with the Black Falcon army. So I could see some lore building going on here, at least in my own head. So pretty cool there. Now, I also want to talk about the Kraken Knights. These guys, I love this color scheme. Supposedly it's a little bit divisive, although I haven't really seen anyone criticize it personally in message boards, but people are saying it's divisive. But I do love that they gave these guys the round shields, the call back to the Vikings with the Viking helmet. That's really cool. Obviously they're a seafaring group, so that would make sense that they'd be more of a callback to the Vikings with these guys. They've got a bit of a pirate vibe too with their bandanas. So I'm really excited about these ones, and I love that there's kind of like a sea green feeling to them. I think the color scheme is great. My one criticism is I think that rather than using a brown helmet, they probably could have done sand green or maybe even a copper. I know that they've done copper in the past with some of the stuff. There is a pearl copper shield, so they could have used that pearl copper for the helmets here. So that would have been sweet looking. But anyways, overall, love it. I think it's great. And likely they used brown to try and tie it into the legs as far as like color design goes. So I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just excited Castle's getting some love. But at the same time, I kind of feel like Lego knows that we Castle fans will eat up any crumbs they decide to sweep off the table for us. So I do want to throw a little bit of caution there. The minifigure vending machine is $180, which I think is a little bit high for it. Honestly, I think a fair price for this one probably would have been $150. But and I think Lego's been using inflation as an excuse rather than it being a legit reason for raising prices lately, especially in this last wave of what seems to be price increases, at least on the newer sets that are coming out. Breaking it down, if you divide the price by the number of minifigures, we're paying $11.25 per minifig and 13 cents per piece if we were divide the price by pieces. So a little bit on the higher end, which is surprising because none of these minifigures are licensed minifigures. So they're not tied to an IP. I do know that they have to pay the ideas person a little bit of a royalty for selling this set. I believe it's 1%. So it's really not that much, at least not enough to justify this price, in my opinion. Um, to pull out another set that has several minifigures for the price, we've got the Fortnite Battle Bus. This is an actual licensed set, and we're paying $11.11 per minifig. If you just divide the price by the number of minifigs we're getting, and it's 10 cents per piece if you divide the price per piece. So I'm sure I don't know what Lego's deal is with Epic Games, but I'm sure they're paying them more than 1% of every sale on this set, or any of the Fortnite sets. Um, so just going off of that price point, this is why I think the vending machine's a little bit too high priced. I think 150. I didn't exactly do the math, but I think that would kind of bring it more in line with this one. Um, and I would be okay with that considering there's some new minifig designs coming out in it. But like I said, I do like that Castle's getting some love. The new 3-in-1 Castle's coming with the new Snake Knights and the Horse Knights, which are pretty awesome. Like I said, the Horse Knights are using the classic shield shape, and the Snake Knights are also using the Hylian shield shape, which I think are pretty cool. We got Griffin Knights, Kraken Knights. This could lead to a new era of Castle if Lego would like to. I think that it would do really well if they decided they wanted to do that. But 4 new factions, and surprise, surprise, we might be getting a 5th faction. So this is all rumor. Nothing to confirm that we're getting a new faction, but we are getting this shield. We're getting a Pegasus Knight shield, and it is coming, surprise, surprise, in a Friends set. The new comic book shop set that's on its way out. We don't have a release date yet, but images have leaked, as you can see. We've got a little cosplayer here cosplaying as an elf, and she's got a cool little a cool design on her outfit here with the purple and gold with gold accents, and she's got the Pegasus shield here. She's cosplaying as a little elf, which I think that this shield is really cool, and I think that this color scheme is really cool. If they could turn it into an actual minifigure, that would be awesome. But that being said, even if we don't get it as an actual Castle faction, I think we've got the perfect minifigure for it. So once this Pegasus Knight shield ends up on Pick-a-Brick, I plan on making my own Pegasus Knight army out of the tax collector from um, the medieval marketplace set. So this guy's on Pick-a-Brick right now. You can pick him up and get a bunch of torsos and legs in the purple and gold color scheme. As you can see, he's got the purple with the gold accents, and I think that would pair really well with some knight armor, even with his gold plume. I think maybe a white helmet instead of a gray one would probably work for him, since he's not actually wearing gray pants. It's more of that sand blue. And then, if you want to beef him up a little bit, this gold shoulder armor I think would work really well. So this is my plan. If we don't actually get Pegasus Knights, I'm going to be making my own Pegasus Knights here with the tax collector. But that's all that I have for today. Hopefully that was fun and engaging. And if you like content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Peace.